CRT, cathode ray tube. CRT monitors dominated from the 1970s through the early 2000s. They worked by firing electron beams at a phosphor-coated screen, creating images line by line. CRT monitors had zero motion blur, excellent color accuracy, true blacks, and they could display multiple resolutions natively without scaling issues. Gamers loved them for their instant response time. However, they were massive, heavy, some weighed over 50 pounds, consumed tons of power, generated heat, and emitted a slight magnetic field. Plus, that screen flicker could cause eye strain. CRTs were phased out by 2007 as flat panel technology became affordable, though some hardcore gamers still swear by them for competitive play. LCD, liquid crystal display. LCD technology uses liquid crystals sandwiched between layers of glass. These crystals don't produce light themselves. They block or allow light to pass through from a backlight. LCD monitors started appearing in the late 1990s, but didn't become mainstream until the mid-2000s, when prices dropped. The technology works by applying electric current to liquid crystals, which twist to control light passage through color filters. Early LCD panels had poor viewing angles. Colors would shift if you weren't looking straight at the screen. Response times were slow, causing motion blur and ghosting in fast-paced content, and those early backlights were uneven, creating inconsistent brightness. Different panel types emerged to address these issues. TN, Twisted Pneumatic, the fastest and cheapest LCD panel. Great response times made them popular for gaming, but they had terrible viewing angles and washed-out colors. If you've ever tilted your laptop screen and watched the colors invert, that's probably a TN panel. IPS, in-plane switching, superior color accuracy and viewing angles. Graphic designers and photographers loved IPS panels. The trade-off? Higher response times initially, though modern IPS has closed that gap considerably. VA, vertical alignment, the middle ground. Better contrast ratios than IPS, deeper blacks than TN, but with some motion blur issues. VA panels became popular for general use and watching movies due to their excellent contrast. LED. Here's where it gets confusing. LED monitors are actually LCD monitors. The difference is the backlight. Traditional LCDs used CCFL, cold cathode fluorescent lamps, for backlighting. LED monitors replaced these with LED backlights. This switch happened around 2010 to 2012, and suddenly monitors could be thinner, more energy efficient, and brighter. LED backlighting also enabled better features. Edge-lit LED, LEDs along the edges of the screen, making monitors incredibly thin, but sometimes causing uneven brightness. Full-array LED, LEDs spread across the entire back of the panel, providing more uniform lighting. Local dimming, zones of LEDs that can dim independently, improving contrast by darkening specific areas of the screen. More zones mean better control, with high-end monitors featuring hundreds of dimming zones. OLED, organic light, emitting diode. Now we're talking about a fundamentally different technology. OLED pixels emit their own light, no backlight needed. Each pixel can turn completely off, creating true blacks and infinite contrast ratios. OLED hit smartphones first, but computer monitors started appearing around 2016, though they remained expensive. OLED offers perfect blacks, since pixels can turn completely off. Instantaneous response times, we're talking 0.1 milliseconds or less. Incredible color vibrancy and viewing angles that don't degrade at all. Burn-in is the big problem. Static elements like taskbars, logos, or UI elements can permanently ghost into the screen over time. They're also expensive to manufacture in large sizes, which is why OLED monitors are still premium products, and they're not as bright as LED backlit displays, which matters in well-lit rooms. OLED is phenomenal for content consumption and gaming with varied content, but risky if you're displaying static elements all day. QD-OLED, Quantum Dot, OLED, Samsung's answer to OLED's limitation, launched in 2022. QD-OLED combines quantum dot technology with OLED's self-emissive pixels. Traditional OLED uses white OLED pixels with color filters, which can limit brightness and color accuracy. QD-OLED uses blue OLED emitters with quantum dot layers to create red and green, resulting in better color volume, improved brightness, and better efficiency. QD-OLED monitors offer the best of both worlds. OLED's perfect blacks and response times with better color accuracy and brightness than traditional OLED. They're still expensive and susceptible to burn-in, but they're currently the premium choice for high-end gaming and creative work. Mini-LED is LCD's response to OLED. It's still an LCD panel with LED backlighting, but instead of hundreds of dimming zones, Mini-LED monitors pack in thousands of tiny LEDs behind the screen. A typical Mini-LED monitor might have 1,000 to 2,500 dimming zones, compared to maybe 32 to 128 on standard full-array local dimming monitors. More zones mean more precise control over brightness and darkness. Mini-LED monitors are much brighter than OLED. We're talking 1,000 to 1,400 nits of brightness, compared to OLED's 400 to 600 nits. No burn-in risk since it's still LCD technology, and they're getting more affordable than OLED at larger sizes. They can't achieve true blacks like OLED since the backlight still bleeds slightly, and you can sometimes see blue zooming around bright objects on dark backgrounds where multiple zones overlap. Mini LED is the practical choice if you want HDR performance without burn-in concerns and need brightness for daytime use. Micro LED, the theoretical future of display technology. Micro LED is like OLED, but uses inorganic LEDs instead of organic ones. Each microscopic LED is its own pixel that emits light. Self-emissive pixels like OLED mean perfect blacks and instant response times. But unlike OLED, there's no burn-in risk. They can get incredibly bright, over 5,000 nits, and they last much longer since inorganic LEDs don't degrade like organic ones. Manufacturing is incredibly difficult and expensive. We're talking about placing millions of microscopic LEDs with extreme precision. Right now, micro LED displays exist mainly in massive commercial installations, and Samsung's ultra-premium TV lineup costing tens of thousands of dollars. Consumer micro LED monitors are probably 5 to 10 years away from being affordable. E-ink/e-paper. E-ink displays use tiny microcapsules containing black and white particles suspended in fluid. Electric charges move these particles to create images. E-ink displays only use power when changing the image, making them incredibly energy efficient. They're perfectly readable in direct sunlight and cause minimal eye strain since they reflect light like paper rather than emitting it. Extremely slow refresh rates. We're talking seconds to change the full screen. Most are black and white, though color e-ink exists, but with limited color range. They're perfect for e-readers and digital note-taking devices, but hopeless for anything requiring motion. Some companies are experimenting with e-ink monitors for productivity work to reduce eye strain, but they're niche products. Quantum dot without OLED. Before QD-OLED, there were quantum dot enhanced LED displays. These are still LCD panels with LED backlighting, but they add a quantum dot film layer. Quantum dots are nanocrystals that emit very pure colors when hit by light. This dramatically improves color accuracy and vibrancy compared to standard LCD. Samsung's QLED TVs and monitors use this technology. They offer wider color gamuts, often covering 95 to 100% of DCI-P3, better brightness than OLED, and no burn-in risk. But they still have the limitations of LCD, including imperfect blacks and slower response times compared to OLED. Upcoming technologies. Micro OLED. Tiny OLED displays used in VR headsets and potentially future AR glasses. Incredibly high pixel density, but currently limited to small sizes. Transparent OLED. Displays you can see through. Still in early stages, but could enable futuristic applications like augmented reality monitors. Stretchable and flexible displays. Research into displays that can bend and stretch without damage. We're seeing early versions in foldable phones.